forward to learning and growing together. Let me see who else is with us for the very first time. Let me see. Leah.
Hi,
Leah,
Dina.
hi.
How are you? My name is Dara Aldiri. I'm actually both South African and Egyptian. So used to be interested in Toastmasters in South Africa, but I didn't really get the chance to join the club. So I actually came across Toastmasters Club through a meetup, and I instantly decided to join. I just saw just 2 minutes ago, so I just hopped in. And because I'm very excited and hoping that, because I'm here now in Cairo, hoping that I can access Toastmasters anytime soon. So hope this goes well and motivate me to join. So thank you so much.
No, that would be great. We would love to have you with us. And I think now, since you actually brought it up, Rania Leila, please raise your hand. Rania Leila is our wonderful Vice President of Membership. If you guys are interested in becoming members of Cairo Toastmasters Club, please feel free to message her privately via the chat box, and she will be able to answer all your inquiries and familiarize you with the process. So Rania Leila is the go-to person. She's awesome. She's vibrant. She's amazing. We love her. So, just bombard her with all the messages that you can.
And one of a kind. Don't forget this, okay? Feel free to contact me. Thank you all. Thank you.
No, she's great. Just bombard her with as many messages as you want, and she will be very happy to help, as you can see.
Yes.
Pleased to meet you. Pleased to meet you, Anya.
Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you, Yara. Thank you for coming.
Nice to meet you, Dina. Thank you so much.
You're very, very welcome. And I believe Leah wanted to say something. Hi.
Hello. Yes, my name is Leah. I am calling in from Gaborone, Botswana in Southern Africa. I saw your ad on Facebook and I saw that the president was visiting. So I just wanted to join your meeting and just to experience what it is like to be in Egypt, Cairo.
Well, thank you so much for coming tonight. I'm telling you, it's going to be a truly remarkable experience. And I say this with great humility, but we have a beautiful, solid team on board, very passionate, very dedicated. And I'm sure that you will notice that throughout the course of the meeting tonight. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to be with us. Okay, President Peck, if you want to say something, please go ahead.
Take juice from the fridge.
President Peck, if you want to say something, please go ahead.
Thank you. I'm sorry I didn't hear you with some of the other things that were going on. This is a unique opportunity, not for me. I mean, it's always a unique opportunity for me when I get to meet with our members. I really wish I was in Cairo right now, enjoying the interaction and the face-to-face, but I can't be. But I can be there with you through the Zoom technology. And although it's not the same when you're living in a 1x2 box all day long, it is a great opportunity to get to know people. And you're using the marketing and posting things on Facebook. And I will admit, I don't go on Facebook too often. It becomes a real drain for me to go out there and listen and see everything that's going on. But what I'm noticing as I go meeting to meeting is that there is a lot of this publicity, this PR that's going on, not just for me, but for club meetings. And what it's leading to is really what I would like to think of as a cultural revolution within the organization, where when prior to this pandemic, we only knew about our club or our districts, the members nearby. The only time we got outside of that was if we went to the international convention. And let's be honest, out of 350,000 members, only 2,500 go to the international convention. So it's still not a huge population. But now with the use of Zoom and your PR team's working so well, you're getting individuals from around the world to join your meeting, to learn about you, to share that little bit of time, even if it's just a couple of hours, to learn about you, to gain some cultural insight. And for me, I've always been a big proponent of cultural awareness and cultural understanding, Because the more we know about each other, the more we'll understand each other. Doesn't mean we're going to agree all the time. But if we disagree and we understand why, that's a sign of wisdom. If we disagree just for the sake of disagreeing, that's ignorance. And what a way to get to know one another, but to be able to spend a couple hours with each other. So I think this cultural revolution that we're starting to see, or evolution, is really been incredible to watch from my standpoint. And as you're, I think, the 50th club I visited on the tour, watching clubs, you've got 65 participants in your window already. Watching participation of 100 or more members at a club that wouldn't normally have that. How cool is that? And I like the fact that as president, you started asking people what country they're from and tell them about themselves. Because this is the one opportunity for you as a club to share something about yourself so that they have a takeaway, and they can share something with you so that you have a little takeaway as well. For some individuals, this might be the only time they ever meet with your club, the only time they ever get to Cairo. So what is it that you want them to remember when they close their screen today? And that's really what it's all about for me. And I'm glad that my team at World Headquarters, I put it all in their hands, picked out this club to visit, and I'm glad to be here today.
Thank you so very much, President Peck. We are so honored and privileged to have you with us tonight. And yes, absolutely, you are right. It's the technology has enabled us to interact with each other in an overwhelmingly beautiful way. And we are trying to make the most of this diversity. We are trying to grow and to learn in diversity. And as much as we would like people from around the world to be part of our meetings and to learn from what we have to offer, we learn a lot from each and every person who shows up every single time we meet online, whether it's through the introductory remarks or discussions that we have before we launch our meeting, or whether it's during the 1 to 2 minutes table topic segments. We are always privileged and lucky to be able to learn so much from so many people all over the world, and we consider ourselves truly privileged for this opportunity. So thank you for your feedback. Go ahead. You want to say something?
Yeah, never before could I have imagined or ever thought that I would have been in China only 4 hours ago, and now I'm in Cairo.
See, it's amazing. And you're still awake, right?
And I'm still awake. Yep.
And actually,
No jet lag. No jet lag.
no jet lagging. Yeah. And we have Japan also.
No, and
with
don't
us.
worry, we're going to keep you awake because the energy in Cairo Toastmasters Club is through the roof. Let me tell you that. So we're going to make sure you stay awake. So again, thanks for your opening remarks. Thanks for your support. Thanks for the opportunity that you have given us to be able to gather as a community in your presence. It is truly honorable, and I know that we will learn so much from you today, especially during his President Peck's speech that will be delivered during the last segment of the meeting. So please stick around for as long as you can. I know that some folks are attending from other parts of the world where it's past midnight. I know, and I'm so very sorry, but President Peck will deliver his Pathways orientation speech towards the end of the meeting. So try to stick around for as long as you possibly can, because I know that all of us have so much to learn from him. And he will also give us the opportunity to ask him questions that I know also all of us will be able to benefit from as a community and also on an individual basis. So stick around for as long as you can. All right, folks. So without further ado, welcome again to our meeting today, where President Richard Peck will be joining us and will be delivering the Pathways orientation speech towards, again, the end of the segment. And before I get into my opening remarks, I would like to hand the mic over to our wonderful Sergeant at Arms. Megid, the mic is yours.
Thank you so much, our dearest President Dina. Thank you for the great introduction. Thank you, everyone, and welcome to Cairo Toastmaster Club. We all wish that you've been with us here physically rather than virtually. However, the invitation is always extended for all of you guys from all over the world, from California, from India, from Pakistan, from England, from Japan, everywhere, to come and join us one day once this pandemic is over. As a Sergeant at Arms, allow me first to introduce to you quite few house rules, as we call them, and a bit of a quick introduction about Toastmasters International. I know that we are all Toastmasters, but for those of us who are still exploring what is Toastmaster, let me give you a quick brief. Toastmaster is an international nonprofit organization that started in 1924 for the sake of teaching public speaking and leadership skills. We are today a network of 16,000 clubs all over the world, spread across 145 countries, with a membership base of 364K, which means that it's a wealth of friends, of people coming from the same background, even if we share different roots or come from different countries, but we all share the same passion for public speaking to become better communicator and better leaders. As for the house rules of the Cairo Toastmasters Club, we are an apolitical, irreligious, and asexual club, meaning that we do not discuss these topics that are related during our speeches. Rather, either they are prepared speeches or impromptu speeches for the table topics. We do not talk with profanity, racism, violence, or disrespect. When we are talking, or we imagine that we are in an actual meeting rather than a virtual meeting, so we encourage all of you to put your phones on silent. So if you please have your phones on, if you do not mind, put them on silent. Of those of you who are connected through their phones, just make sure that they are on do not disturb so you do not get disconnected while a phone call comes in during the meeting is in place. And the chat box that we have in our Zoom feature, we highly encourage you not to use them while a speaker is talking, just to give that person the respect they should in order to give them the full attention. And if any of you wants to discuss anything, either privately or publicly with everyone, please wait in the interim between speeches so we can discuss this matter or put this comment forward to everyone if you don't mind. Now back to you again, our dearest president. Thank you so much once again for joining the Cairo Toastmaster meeting. And I was Mag Wasef, the Sergeant at Arms for this club. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, our dear Mag. Again, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to our fellow Toastmasters, brothers and sisters from all over the world, as well as our first time and returning guests. Thank you for being with us tonight. Tonight is a very special meeting, of course, because we have all you wonderful people with us, but also because we have Toastmasters International's president, Richard Peck. We thank you for your time, for your presence, and for your continued support. Now, as Matt previously said, Toastmasters International is a nonprofit organization that comprehensively invests in people's communication, public speaking, and leadership skills. We do have membership that exceeds 357,000 people worldwide, and 16,000 clubs in over 143 countries around the world. Imagine all these numbers that I just threw at you, and Cairo Toastmasters Club was one of the few clubs that was chosen by President Richard Peck for this wonderful virtual tour. So everybody, let's give ourselves a big round of applause. Okay. Also, I would like to mention something that is extremely important, and it goes very nicely with public speaking. Now, Cairo Toastmasters Club has decided to mandate turning our cameras on. This is extremely important because as public speakers, it's not just about our verbal communication, but it's mostly about our nonverbal communication, which is everything else to do with our facial expressions, our hand gestures, our tone of voice, our eye contact, so on and so forth. It is very important for us to make the most of our public speaking experience And the only way we can truly do that is by listening to each other and also being able to see each other, even if we're not communicating. So please turn your cameras on so we could make the most of our public speaking experience together tonight. Also, we will be having a table topic segment where our wonderful guests will be given the opportunity to volunteer, in which case they will be able to deliver a 1 to 2 minute speech. So if you guys would like to volunteer, this would be a great opportunity for you to practice your public speaking skills during the table topic segment. As mentioned earlier, if anybody is interested to inquire more about Cairo Toastmasters Club, kindly message Rania Leila privately for more information. And without further ado, again, welcome everybody. And I would like to conclude with a quote that I know we will all be able to relate to tonight. And it goes as follows. It says, good communication is just as stimulating as black coffee and just as hard to sleep after. Now, I don't care what time it is in your country right now. I know that you're not going to be able to sleep after this meeting, okay? All right, everybody. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. And I will now hand over the mic to our wonderful Toastmaster of the Day, who's also our Vice President of Education. Alia, the mic is yours.
We've all heard of love from first sight. Has anyone here heard of hatred from first sight? A few years ago, I worked in a hotel's guest relations department. And one of the experiences I went through mingling with employees of different personalities, mentalities, and characters, is that no one, not every single person you meet, you'll manage to have chemistry with. So each day I walked into the office with my broad smile, and guess what? One of the employees just keeps skipping my good mornings, my hellos, my goodbyes, my how are yous, as if some sort of wind was whistling the office and no human being was addressing her. I found that pretty awkward, to be honest. I didn't remember doing anything wrong or treating her in any mean way for me to be treated this way. Until one day, we held a huge farewell party back in the office. And we were wishing her goodbye. You see, the office was dominated by male employees, and the only two females were present were me and her. And I know that in moments like these, people who leave a job opportunity or any place to go elsewhere normally feel emotional. They need some sort of sympathy, some sort of empathy, a shoulder to perhaps shed a few tears on. And so I went up to her and hugged her. While hugging her and wishing her all the best for her future endeavors, it was almost as if this hug was one of the most powerful gestures that ever happened to her. After the warm embrace, I had to go. I had some work to finish and get up and done with. I looked back as I was heading out of the office, only to see thunderous tears trickling down her cheeks. Through her nonverbal cues, only through her eyes, I saw feelings of guilt. I saw an unsaid apology, and I saw a sincere thank you. Nevertheless, I continued with my smile. Forgiveness, or rather the power of forgiveness, is something that people rarely possess. If you ever encountered incidents and people in your life where you chose to forgive, then believe me, you symbolize strength and bravery, not weakness. For every single person you forgave, you left a positive mark in their lives and in your own life as well. For when you forgive, you do good to yourself before doing good to others. Now that we've introduced our theme of the meeting, and moving forward, we'll be hearing lots of enticing stories about forgiveness, let me walk you through our humble agenda. Can we all see this? Thumbs up? Great. So, tonight's meeting is going to cover 4 main segments. Our first segment is going to be the prepared speeches segment. This is going to include 2 of our speakers who will be delivering their projects from Pathways. Following that, we have our second segment, which is table topics. This is where both guests and members can volunteer to deliver impromptu speeches. By the way, if you wish to take part in this segment, feel free to send your name privately to our table topic master, Rania Leila. Our third segment is going to be evaluations, and this is going to be led by our general evaluator, Amal Kamel, who will be introducing evaluation reports of our prepared speeches along with GTA reports of the grammarian, timer, and accounter. Our fourth and final segment of tonight's meeting is our very special one that is going to be led by Dina Abu Saif, introducing our one and only Toastmaster International President, Richard Peck. Without any further ado, let us jump into the first segment. Are we ready? Thumbs up, party reaction. Yes! So, our first segment is going to be the prepared speeches. Our first speaker is going to be delivering his first project in level 2 in team collaboration pathway. His speech title is Leadership, a Verb. Who is going to be the evaluator of the speaker? Well, let's find out through her story of forgiveness. She was asked to mention an incident where she chose to forgive someone and why. She said the following. In high school, we choose one of 2 streams, either literary or science. I chose literary, thinking it was totally normal. But someone thought she was entitled to just tell me, literary? I thought you were smart. It broke my heart knowing that some people still base your self-worth on your life choices, not on you as a human being. But I forgave her because to err is human, but to forgive is divine. Please help me welcome our first evaluator to introduce our first speaker's objectives, Wala Othman.
Thank you so much, Alia. Welcome, everybody. It is an honor to be speaking with you all tonight. Now, we hear this quote a lot. A great person attracts great people and knows how to hold them together. And this is exactly the objective of our speaker. His objective is to discover his leadership style through his first project in level 2 in the pathway called, where's the name of the pathway? And it is team collaboration, yes. And he will be speaking about leadership with a speech titled, Leadership is a Verb. Wishing you all the best, Mr. Hassan, and I'll be back at the end of the meeting to deliver my report on his speech. Thank you. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Wala. And now to make sure that you're all eager and aware to listen to our first speaker, he has to be aware of something. Our grammarian, timer, accounter, you will be there to introduce your roles before I hand it over to our first speaker, please. Thank you very much. And so, our grammarian said, like many of you, I was hurt by some of my closest friends. but I sometimes chose to forgive because I deserved to live in peace. Our dear grammarian, Dina Abu Saif, please explain your role.
Thank you so much, Alia, for the introduction. Now, as the grammarian, first of all, I would like to introduce the word of the day. The word of the day is tolerate. Just like President Peck said previously, the most important thing is for us to tolerate each other. What does tolerate mean by definition? Tolerate means that we have to allow the existence, occurrence, or practice of something that one dislikes or disagrees with without interference. Tolerance is very important. And one way to use the word tolerate in a sentence is perhaps to say, in order for us to live harmoniously, we must tolerate each other's differences. So please be sure to use the word tolerate today in your speeches, prepared speeches, impromptu speeches, evaluations, so on and so forth. So tolerate is the word, and I will write it down in the chat box just to kind of make sure that you folks do not forget. Also, as the grammarian, I will be on the lookout for grammatical errors, things that were not said correctly, and I will also highlight promising phrases that were articulated. So I will be your grammar police, and I will make sure that I highlight the negative things, or not the negative things, but the things that we need to work on, some of our weaknesses. And I will also emphasize on the positive things, the things that went well grammatically throughout the course of the meeting. Do not forget to use the word tolerate tonight. Thanks so much. And I will now hand the mic over to Alia. The mic is yours.
Thank you, Dina. If we have the strength to forgive, then I'm sure we're going to have the strength to tolerate each other this meeting. And now our next role player, our timer. Forgiveness to her is accepting and dealing with other people's actions instead of blocking them. Please help me welcome Ghada Sharawi to explain her role.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. Dear fellow Toastmasters, friends, good evening. As we all know, each speaker has a specific time frame for delivering a speech. And my role today as a timer to remind the speaker with the used time by raising the timing card. I will do it like that. So we have 3 segments today. The first segment, the prepared speech. And for prepared speech, the given time is from 5 to 7 minutes. So by reaching 5 minutes, I will share green cards, and I will raise yellow card by reaching 6 minutes, and red cards by reaching 7 minutes. Then the second segment, the table topic, the given time is from 1 to 2 minutes. So by reaching 1 minute, I will share green card, 1.5 yellow card, and 2 minutes the red card. Then evaluation, the given time for evaluation part from 2 to 3 minutes. By 2 minutes, I will share green card, 2.5 the yellow, and 3 minutes the red. But wait, if you cannot finish your speech by the maximum time, you still have 30 seconds to find an end to your speech. Good luck for all the speakers, meeting you by the end of the meeting and reporting time, and over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Ghada. Please, speakers, kindly pin the timer so you can see her as you speak. Thank you very much. And now our last role player is the accounter. He said, and I quote, "When someone does something to harm me, I don't know how to forgive them. What I normally do is to avoid them. Of course, if the person apologizes and is sincere about it, then yes, I'd forgive." Dear Galal Zaki, over to your awesome counter. Introduce your role, please. You are muted, my dear.
Gilgil, we can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Alia, for your charming smile of forgiveness and for forgiving my intolerable naughtiness. As our counter, my role today is to take note of all words and sounds that are used as a crutch or thought fillers by anyone who speaks during the meeting. I will listen to overused words such as and, well, okay, like, yani. I will also take note of filler sounds such as and repeated words and phrases such as this means, you know, unnecessarily long pauses. And tips of the day would be take short pauses, take a deep breath, relax and take it easy, and smoothly move from one point to the other. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker uses these. Finally, as an R counter said, I hope that you'll all be awesome and not awful. Thank you. Back to you, Ali.
Thank you so much, our awesome counter. And now, without any further ado, let's jump in. Hassan Diab, leadership is a verb. Leadership is a verb. Hassan Diab, best wishes to you.
Thank you, Alia, so much. Let me tell you a tale of two bosses. Once upon a time, I was an employee in a department, and the boss knew everything. He was very knowledgeable. He knew everything about the work. But there was one thing that he didn't know. Can you guess what that is? The names of the team members. The boss was so isolated and closed off that he forgot the names of his team members. The atmosphere was very bad. The boss didn't communicate with us regularly, and the result is that there were a lot of disputes in the team. No one tolerated each other. A couple of months later, I moved to another department with a new boss, but the atmosphere was totally different. The team was very friendly and the environment was very supportive. And the secret was in the leadership style of that boss. His style was leading by example. I learned a lot from that boss. The lesson that I learned from him is that leadership is about actions, not words. And since then, I have always tried to apply that lesson in my own life. Recently, I was chosen to be a team leader of a charity project to buy blankets to poor people. I was the leader of a team of 5 people, and we were responsible for raising funds for that project. So I was waiting for the buyer to tell me the exact target of the project, and he delivered the news. He told me, Hassan, we need to buy 100 blankets. Each blanket costs 100 Egyptian pounds. So our target in 2 weeks is 10,000 Egyptian pounds. And I said, 10,000 what? In 2 weeks? Is that possible? He said, that's our target, so best of luck. Goodbye. And then I was overwhelmed. I was really overwhelmed. And I was thinking about how I'm gonna deliver the news to my team members. I delivered the news to the team. I told them, dear team, I have to tell you that our target is to collect 10,000 Egyptian pounds in 2 weeks. They said, what? That's impossible. How can we do this? I then remembered the example of the boss, of my boss, the second boss. And I told them, don't worry, guys. I know that this is difficult, but together we can face that challenge. And I took the first step and told each and every one of them to tell his ideas. And I listened carefully to each and every one of the team members when he was sharing his ideas. And at the end, we collected all of the ideas into a plan. I told them, guys, here is the plan. It was based on your awesome ideas. And don't worry about the results. The most important thing is just to do our best. And we followed the plan. And guess what was the result after the 2 weeks were over? We collected more than double the initial target. We collected 22,000 Egyptian pounds. It was a great success. And I told them, guys, this was because of your efforts. We didn't reach that by the effort of me alone or any of you alone, but by the effort of the team, all of us. We own, all of us own that success. And that story confirmed the lesson I learned from the boss, is that leadership is a choice. I learned that true leadership, the true leader is just a team member, a normal team member who takes the first step. That's the only difference. He is a team member who just takes the first step. I learned that the best leadership is summarized by Gandhi's quote, be the change you want to see in the world. I learned that leadership is a noun, is not a noun. Leadership is a verb. Back to you, Toastmaster Alia.
Great job, Hassan. Thank you so much for this inspiring speech. And now we move on to our second prepared speaker, who is going to be delivering her second project in Level 1 in Innovative Planning Pathway. She is going to be evaluated by a person who didn't seem to have little action going on with forgiveness in the past. When asked about forgiveness, he said, I remember one day when I was in preparatory school, the teacher punished me because he thought that I was talking. Then he realized that he was wrong. So he apologized to me in front of the class, and I accepted. I'm glad you did, Samak. Please help me welcome Samak to evaluate and explain the objective of our second speaker, Rania Al-Ghubashi.
Hi everyone, good evening for everyone. Today, Rania will deliver her second speech. She's level 1, and the objective is evaluation and feedback. Her speech title is Downs Better Than Ups. So we are very excited to hear from her. Good to you, Ronnie. Hope you the best.
Evaluation and feedback with Rania Al-Ghubashi. Rania Al-Ghubashi, downs better than ups, downs better than ups. Rania Al-Ghubashi. Best wishes.
Thank you, Alia. Who said life was meant to be easy or always fun? I remember very well how I was hating mechanical engineering, especially when I have failed in my first year in my colleague, in my college. It was really a sudden drop and unexpected. After that, I tried to accept what happened and try to love this field. And don't judge things through others' judgments or others' point of views, or even without going into that things. And look at me now. After graduation from mechanical engineering, and after 6 years of experience in that field, in that difficult field, who won a worldwide Stevie Award from USA in 2020 in automotive industry? Who? Yeah, it's me. I'm surprised like you now, who or how I could do that. And mechanical engineering became my passion, and I never imagined that it will happen someday. In my journey, there were many times I failed, and I'm still falling, but the only thing and the only important thing is I never can lose hope. Hope always helps us to, especially when our hands are too weary, or even we can't get up from the bed or our bed. But let me say something to all of you. Keep working in a smart way, or even take a rest in your downs, or even take a small steps, like to be like a turtle, and take your time to understand yourself, and keep in your mind that always if we get ups, because downs always make ups, and downs our chance to make the future. In the end, the sudden drops take years to recover from. But you know, if we last long enough and learn how to walk uphill after we fall, we eventually become very strong as we acquire wisdom from any pain we might suffer. Finally, trust along with hardship is relief, and we learn when we hurt. Be patient and be tolerant, and keep smiling and think positive, and thank you.
Thank you, Rania. Great job, prepared speakers. Glad you're done with your project for now. And before the poll is up for voting, I'd like to invite our Zoom master. Let me introduce you to him first. When he was asked about forgiveness, he said something pretty deep. He said, forgiveness is the road to happiness. Anger and hatred are like burning rocks. They only hurt and burn the person holding onto them. Our Zoom master, Ashraf, are you ready with the poll for us to vote for the best prepared speech?
I am ready. Are you guys ready?
Yay!
Are you guys ready to vote for the best what's it called? Speech for today's meeting?
Prepare speech.
Are you ready? I cannot hear you. I can hear
Yes.
everyone.
Lord.
I can hear everyone.
Already.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Let us begin the polls. Where is it? All right. Okay, we have 1 minute to vote for the best speaker for today's meeting. Okay, 60% complete. We need to finish 100% for today's meeting to pass by. Unless there will be consequences, grave pharaonic consequences.
Curse.
Yes.
We can curse those who are not going to vote.
Exactly.
You have to forgive us, Ashraf.
Exactly. I just wanted to remind them of
No forgiveness. The Pharaoh
You
do
have
not
to
forgive.
tolerate us, Ashraf. Tolerate.
Never.
Yes,
All right.
Gil, that's right. I'm glad you said the word tolerate now, because the first time you used it was intolerable. And that drove me crazy. So thanks for using the right word, the right way.
Marion is watching us. Be careful, guys.
80%. Yalla, let's go. 80%.
We
We're
can
8
do it.
people there. Only 8 can vote. Left.
All right, that is it for today's what's it called for voting. Please welcome back the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, our awesome Zoom master. Did you guys know that there are benefits to forgiveness? We never really thought about that, did we? There are actually more than 5, more than 8, more than anything. Benefits to forgiveness. Mr. Gilgil, you'd like to share one?
Yes, I kept reading after you asked me those questions, and the best benefit is to the person who forgives. The person who forgives is the #1 person who benefits.
Exactly, dear Gilgil. That is precisely it. And you know what, dear Gilgil, and the rest of the people here? The person who forgives benefits in the following ways: has healthier relationships, improved mental health, has less anxiety, stress, and hostility, lower blood pressure, fewer symptoms of depression, a stronger immune system, improved heart health, improved self-esteem, and a lot more. So the next time you choose to forgive someone, remember that you're doing good to others and, before that, to yourself and to your health as well. Dear Gilgil, another benefit?
Yeah, I've been trying to get my wife to understand that, but she hasn't tolerated me for over 50 years. Please help me with your charming smile, Alia.
Is she attending the meeting? Maybe
Of course not. I'm hiding. I've got the doors closed and everything.
I'm sure everything's going to be fine, dear Gilgil, I'm sure. Let her watch the recording of our YouTube before anything happens if she's not attending the meeting tonight.
Yeah.
Prayers to you. And now we're moving on to our second segment of tonight's meeting, Table Topics. And this is where both guests and members are going to freely participate. So, when our table topic master was asked about forgiveness, she said, "My life is full of incidents where people wronged me. It's a part of life's struggles. However, I always forgive people. Maybe because I'm kind, or because I don't hold grudges for too long, or because I don't want to focus on others because that drains my energy and time. But as a typical Virgo, I forgive but never forget." Da-da-da-dum. Please help me welcome our table topic master, Rania Leila.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Alia, for this eloquent intro. And now, dear viewers, welcome to Cairo Toastmaster TV, broadcasting from Egypt, the land of pharaohs, the land of great civilization, and the land of pyramids too. Dear viewers, the respectful guests we will have here in this episode will practice their impromptu speaking. Speaking on the spot. No preparation, no previous thoughts. Speak at your feet. Okay? And now, let's dive in. Yes, and just one more thing. Our respectful guests are allowed to speak for a minute or two, no more than that, because the timer is watching you. My solo advice for you. And now, let's dive in. As you see, all the people around the world are still celebrating the new year. New resolutions, new goals, new lives, new perspectives, with no grudges, no malice, and forgiveness, and so much of forgiveness. And now, we are so much delighted to have some respectful guests who will share with us their insights, their experience, and their opinions, and how to deal with this tough life. And now, let's talk nitty-gritty with our first guest, Mr. Dave Drepsky. I'm pronounced it right? Are you here, sir?
Yes, you pronounced it correctly, and I am here.
Yes, here. How are you, sir?
Quite well.
Where are you from?
New York, USA.
We are so much delighted to have you here in Egypt, the land of pharaohs.
Wonderful to be here.
Thank you so much. And now with the first question. What life lesson did you learn the hard way?
Thank you very much, Madam Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests from all over the world. All of us learn a myriad of life lessons throughout the course of the time that we spend on this planet. Some are much harder to learn than others. And in keeping with the theme of this meeting, I think I'm going to concur that the most difficult life lesson is that it is extremely difficult to get people to forgive you once you have wronged them. It takes time to rebuild trust after it's been lost, and it takes an extreme amount of positivity to overcome just a small smidgen of negativity. All of us should aspire to tolerate one another and to not engage in any disrespect. Of course, it will happen. Feelings will be hurt, anger will be stoked, and division and sadness will be created. For myself personally, there have been times where I did not handle situations as well as they should have been. I let negative feelings flourish and get the best of me. And a lot of times those relationships are not repairable. The best thing you can do at the time is to step back, evaluate the situation with a calm temperament, and not let things reach the level where you've burnt the proverbial bridge. Because people will take a long time to come around for the most part when they feel hurt or disrespected, and forgiveness is difficult to achieve. That has been the life lesson, which I've learned in some cases in quite a difficult fashion. Thank you very much, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you so much for this valuable and great life lesson. Thank you, sir. And now, with our second guest, Ms. Reem El Robah.
Yes, hello.
Yes, hello, how are you?
I'm great. Is it all right if I don't show my face?
Okay, please.
Is this okay, or do I have to show my
Yeah,
face?
okay, it's okay.
Okay.
Now, what is the best advice you have ever received? What is the best advice you have ever received? The mic is yours.
All right. Thank you for the opportunity. So the best advice that I have received is that forgiveness is a must, and that forgiveness does not require that you tell the other person that you forgive them. It does not require that you that the other person apologizes to you. You do not forgive for the purpose of being, reconciling with that person, but rather you forgive for yourself. It was just like how Alia said, when you forgive, you get a better improvement in your life. But the truth is, you need to forgive because the aspects that you didn't like about the other person, or the aspects that hurt you, you were able to notice them because deep down, they were inside you in the first place. The mind can only see what it is already ready to perceive. So that means that if we did not have this aspect in ourselves, we would have not been able to recognize it in the first place. So forgiveness is more of a self-reflection, because the first person that we have to forgive is then, in essence, ourselves. Thank you.
Thanks to you for this great, incredible insight. Thank you. Okay, and now we'll come to the third guest. It will be, okay, he will be Rohitash Bahaskar. Is that right? I'm pronouncing it right?
Yeah, that's correct. It's Rohitash Bhaskar.
Okay. Hi, mister. How are you?
I'm good, and I'm from India, and I'm also come from Rajasthan state in India, which have a similar digit similar to Egypt. So we have some similarity today.
Yes, awesome. India is Bahut Sundari, right?
Very good.
I'm following the
Excellent.
sound. Yes, Indian drama like Nagin 5 and Ishq-e-Baaz. We will talk about these things later, okay?
Yeah.
And now, If you had to be someone else for one day, who would you be and why? If you had to be someone else for one day, who would you be and why? The mic is yours.
If I have to be someone for one day, no prizes for guessing, I would be owner of Tesla Motors, Elon Musk, because most recently he has been the richest number one in the world. If you are rich, you can get anything in this world. I need not to tolerate only Zoom to travel the world. I can have my own charter plane. I can go to China. I can meet the Toastmaster president there, and I can come back to Cairo and then meet him again in one day. So that I would like to be. There are another region, like I would like to be Elon Musk because of his passion, his guts. He has a clear vision, and because of leadership skills through which he is driving a lot of people and the movement. I don't think we would have imagined someone sending a car into space, but he has done it. 2 days back, or 2 3 couple of days back, I think, when privacy policy of WhatsApp were going to change and there was a message around that, he sent a single tweet like, people who are careful for their privacy, they can go to some another messaging app, that is Signal, and we can see how much impact he is having into the world. Even Telegram alone got 25 million subscribers in 72 hours. So we can see how much respect he commands in the world. And I would definitely would like to be like him if I have the option to choose him. Thank you, and over to you, Table Topic Master.
This is great, yes, and a very good choice to be Elon Musk. We will do wonders. We'll do some magic out there. Thank you so much. And now
Thank
our
you.
next guest, Dr. Sumana. Sumana, is that right? I'm pronouncing it right?
Okay, we'll see
Yes,
you.
Dr. Sumana.
Bye-bye.
See you later. There was no meal.
Hey,
Okay,
hello,
thanks.
how are you?
Okay, we'll see you then. Thank you.
I'll call you a couple of times. Make sure
Okay.
you're right.
Could
Okay,
you
thank you.
yourself, please, other guests? Thank you so much. Dr. Sumana Meridosti, is that right? I'm trying
Sorry?
to learn some Indian. Meridosti, right? It's my friend. I'm trying to practice some of Indian language right here. Now, the question is, what's missing in your life? What is missing in your life? The mic is yours.
Thank you so much, and thanks for the opportunity to speak out here. You have actually made me the most dumbstruck by asking this question because I've lived my life not regretting even one thing that I did, and the only thing missing is the word missing. I never let anything miss in my life. So as me, I can't really think, but as to say one thing that I miss not in my life, but in the experiences of life is uh, it's very, very easy for me to forgive, but it's rarely a case where I can seek forgiveness. When I do something wrong to someone and I realize it, it's very hard and takes a lot of time for me to uh, get the thing set back to right and get the forgiveness, seek the forgiveness from the other person. And that is something which is missing in my experience for me, that I always try, every day I try to learn from my mother, who does this really very well, seek the forgiveness part. And I really want to sometimes miss the tolerating people part. I am owner of an entity, and most of the time, the 90% of the people that I interact with, I have to only tolerate them. And I'm a firm believer, so, and a very stubborn person sometimes. So it's I know where I am right, and I'm very stubborn on it. And I don't accept any other person's wrongdoings at all. So I tolerate each and every one of them so that I can successfully go ahead in my life. So that's all. Thank you.
You're more than welcome. Thank you so much for this eloquent answer. Thank you so much. You just inspired us with so much things. Thank you. And now with the next guest, Mr. Raj. I couldn't find the second name. Mr. Raj, is that right? Are you there? Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm there.
Hey, Raj Baharat, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Just keep calm. I won't talk to you with Indian because I'm very great in Indian language, so I'm not gonna talk with you in Indian. Now, please, your question. What music do you listen to lift your spirits when you are feeling down, and why? What music do you listen to lift your spirits when you are feeling down? The mic is yours.
Thank you so much, Table Topic Master Rania, for this topic. Music is very beautiful feelings. When we listen music, we become flow in that direction. Our emotions, our mindsets, our feelings get diverted with the flow, with the kind of music we are listening. Being an Indian, I have been listening Bollywood music a lot since my childhood, both like enjoyment and for sad songs. In case I am feeling down, I understand the lyrics of the songs, and when I am feeling happy, I just enjoy the music. If I will say what type of music I like most and which give me a strength, I will say it's solo songs, solo soft musics. In morning, I listen soft, calm musics a lot to give concentration of my mind. It helps me a lot in the morning to plan my day, to have good focus my entire day for the work and for anything. And it helps me to improve my concentration and my focus and my power to perform and to do the things in much effective manner. So I love listening soft musics a lot, and I enjoy that too much and very much. Thank you, and over to you, Rania.
Thank you, Mr. Raj. Thank you so much for this incredible answer. Thank you. And now let's go to the next guest, Abdul Majdi. Is that right? From Egypt.
Yeah, you definitely
Yeah.
caught me.
Okay. Hi, how are you? From Egypt, right?
Sorry?
From Egypt.
Yeah, I'm from Egypt. I'm actually from Dahab, so it's like fantastic to be connecting out of the Sinai Peninsula side of things.
Awesome. It's incredible. Okay. Now, the question is, what do you know enough to teach others? What do you know enough to teach others? The mic is yours.
Connections. Connecting with people is something that I had a lot of struggles with, and I had to tolerate myself, and lots of learning experiences that I had to go through in understanding the sensible setup to connect with other people. One way I think about it, once we approach connecting with a human being and also building balanced connection with them, is to get into the fine line in which we have a reasonable exchange. If we look at it from a psychology standpoint, they say that there is the rejection sensitivity bias and the aggression attribution bias. So when you deal with someone, you could actually think that they are being aggressive against you, or you could be like too sensitive in terms of like perceiving that rejection or even triggering it. So understanding the fine line in dealing with people and establishing balanced connection is something that I have to go through a lot of tough experiences with. And part of my passions right now, especially that I work with CEOs and companies is to work with the CEOs on establishing reasonable connections with a lot of people around them from different personality types. And I've also written like a small book in a topic. So this is something I'm very passionate about, and I like to connect with people and help them connect with others. Thank you.
Very inspiring, and yes, connections are essential in this high-tech, high-speed world. Thank you so much for this insightful response. And now, dear viewers, we come to at the end of this show, this episode where we can, or when we can, practice our impromptu speaking. Thank you for this so much inspiration, motivation, insightful notes and observations about life and how to deal with life in a very effective way. Thank you so much. And now back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, our awesome TV presenter, and thank you to all contributors of the segment. That was amazing and awesome. Our dear timer, are all table topic speakers qualified? Great. Our Zoom master, is the poll ready?
Yes, the poll is ready. I am here. I definitely was awake. All right, so the poll will be up in 1, 2, 3.
Thirty seconds left, guys. We're at 65%. Come on. We need it like last time, even higher, 80 plus.
Yes, we want to score an A, not a B plus, okay? We can do it. You can do it. Get the A score, A plus even. All right, the poll has ended. Back to the Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you. All right. Now we are ready to go to the third segment of our meeting. Are we? Are we? Party reactions, thumbs up. Oh, yes. Okay. I sound like a lunatic here screaming in the office. Awesome. All right. So our next segment is going to be conducted by our general evaluator. Here's what she has to say about forgiveness. There was a time when one of my coworkers was really mean to me over something I did not do. So we just stopped talking to each other for a couple of years. Then she came to apologize, saying that it was a misunderstanding. I chose to forgive her because of those two reasons. Number one, she asked for it. Number two, she didn't mean the harm she has done, as this problem was caused by someone else who meant to break all the friendship ties around me. That co-worker I chose to forgive is now one of my best and most trusted friends. So inspiring and heartfelt, dear. Please help me welcome our general evaluator, Amal Kamel, to conduct the evaluation segment of this meeting.
Thank you very much, Alia. Toastmasters and guests, good morning or evening, as the case may be. Glad to have you all here with us today. I'll be the general evaluator for you tonight. Did someone say something? Okay. All right. I'll be your general evaluator today. I'm here to conduct the evaluation segment. The evaluation is here, I see it as a gift. I've given you feedback for what you have done. In Toastmasters, we know that there is always a room for improvement. We are all here because we want to be better. So to be better, it's just like looking in the mirror, this evaluation part. You're looking at the mirror as a lady to put my lipstick, to do my hair, to check the colors, to make everything is fine. And this is the gift that the ladies here are given to you. We will be your mirror to see how to improve yourself. Only it is not just the appearance here. We are talking about the public speaking part, your body language, how to construct your speech. So I will not take much of your time. We will go first to the evaluation of our first speaker, of our first prepared speech. Please help me welcome Ms. Toastmaster Wala Othman to evaluate the first speech. Wala, please.
Thank you so much, Ahmed. Hello again, everyone. And help me give a huge hand for Mr. Hassan for finishing level 1 in his project 1 and level 2 in his pathway. Good job, Hassan. You made a huge progress huge progress in your pathway tonight. And I believe this speech was one of a kind. Now let's dive into it. Allow me to first break Hassan's speech into 3 parts: the intro, the body, and the conclusion. With the introduction, I believe that we've all noticed how powerful it was, especially with the hook. He used a very distinct hook, which was a cultural reference. Do you guys remember what he said? He said, "A tale of 2 bosses." Now that is a story that we've all, or most of us, studied in school, or the other half of us definitely read for fun or for leisure. So I believe that that was so powerful in connecting on a personal and a cultural level with his audience. So he was definitely aware of who he was addressing. And then he immediately delved into the body of the introduction itself. We're speaking about the intro. He started with the story, and it was 2 stories actually, and quite a paradox between them to give you an idea of what a good boss is. And now he used the most immersing and most powerful technique in this intro, which again was storytelling. We can all learn from that. He used different tones. He used characters to immerse us also in the story and to make us involved in it. And he stuck with one symbol. If you remember, there was just one thing that he kept on repeating, which was the gasp. What? Every time he would say that, we would concentrate again, and we know that there is something that is about to happen. Sticking with one symbol is always powerful in storytelling. Also, the things that there are definitely, there's room for improvement. So I believe that when it comes to the body of the speech, I did not feel that there was a distinction between the intro and the body. I felt like the introduction, it was a big introduction and then a conclusion. So I believe that we could have expanded more on different leadership styles, or at least teach me more or talk to me more about that specific style that the boss has had, or that you yourself exercised in your project management. Moving to the things that I believe you excelled at, I saw your eyes fixated on the camera. That was a plus. And I believe that you used pauses quite perfectly. The tone could be improved as you go through different characters. But other than that, I believe you did an amazing job in immersing us with the story, using a cultural reference, something that a lot of people overlook. And again, using great eye contact and an amazing conclusion with powerful, powerful quotes. Thanks again, Hassan. Looking forward to hearing you next time.
Great job, Wala. Thank you very much for your evaluation. Congratulations, Hassan, on your speech. And now We will move to our next evaluator for the second prepared speech today, Semak Zaghloul. He will be evaluating Rania Ghobashi's speech. Semak, the mic is yours.
Thank you, Amal. Let us make a round of applause for Rania for her second speech, because she delivered a very good speech. Her speech was about downs better than ups. I saw that Rania perfectly achieved the purpose of the speech. She delivered the speech, and to receive a feedback, then apply this feedback in the next and upcoming speeches. First of all, Rania make a very attractive introduction. After that, she stated personal story, which is a very perfect thing that everyone can use to attract audience. I really loved when she said about mentioned her failure first in mechanical engineering, and she failed in the first year in the college. After that, she persisted to success, and after that, she became the one she took Steve Aware for mechanical engineering in the automotive industry this year. So this the success and the story of success she mentioned, it was very exciting and very interesting. After that, I saw that Rania very good in her gestures and eye contact. She were looking at everyone, and her gestures very familiar with her speech. Also, the organization of her speech very well. She started with an intro and then the body of the speech. After that, she made a conclusion. So I think that her speech is very organized, and the connection between ideas and speech is very well. But also, I'd like to mention something to work on, Rania. I think you have to, it will be better to rehearse your speech more before delivering it. This will help you very well to deliver a speech without any ahs or any stops. Another thing, I think you have to work on your vocal variety. When you mentioning something, a failure, you have to stop or make emotions that make your audience feel with your emotion in this point in this story. And when you say after that, when you reach your success, so the vocal variety will help you very well to give your message better to your audience. Thank you. Hope you the best in the next speech. Thank you. Back to you, Anna.
Thank you very much, Semak. Thank you very much for this. And now, Ashraf, our great Zoom master, are we ready with our polls to choose our best evaluator, our best evaluation for today? You're on mute, Ashraf.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are about
There you
to
are.
begin.
We have an awesome Zoom master here. He's been ready for like 3 days ago.
Wow. I'm sure.
Yes. Thank you for the support, Mr. Meggett. All right, it is now online. All right, 30 more seconds to go. We are 60%. Guys, do you want to get a D on this test? Are you serious? Do you want to get a D? Come on. Where's the motivation? You can do it.
Let's be tolerant.
Yes. All right. And we are over with. So back to you, Madam Evaluator, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, our great Zoom master. Thank you all for voting and thank you all for listening. And now you have been listening for quite a long time. And now it is time for us to tell you that were some people here watching you all the meeting long in silence. And now I will bring them to you and they will tell you about what's been going on in that meeting. My great GTA team, please help me welcome our grammarian and president of Cairo Toastmasters Club, Dina Abu Saif. Dina, give us your report.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. You guys, you did an incredible job. I usually write down so many weaknesses that we all need to work on as a community. Today, you guys were on fire. You guys really impressed me. I was just writing down all the positives. Really, you really exceeded everybody's expectations. You exceeded your own expectations. I think that Cairo Toastmasters Club and Toastmasters International has really invested in much of our communication skills. And I can testify to that tonight as the grammarian. So let me move into some of my feedback. First of all, when it comes to our first prepared speaker, I just noticed a little something, and I'm sure that he mistakenly said it twice because I know that he knows that word. Hassan, our first speaker, when he was talking about the boss who knew everything, he accidentally twice said he knew everything, but I know that he meant he knew, but I wanted to highlight it just to kind of keep everybody on track. But I did love a couple of statements that he actually mentioned about leadership, extremely enlightening. The first thing he said was leadership is about actions, not words. Also, the second statement that he said about leadership was that a leader is a team member who takes the first step. Beautifully said, beautifully said. So thank you for demonstrating leadership in its best form throughout the course of your speech, Hassan. Rania, your speech was beautiful. And quite frankly, I love the title of your speech because when we come and talk about ups and downs in life, we automatically assume that all the ups are great and all the downs are not so good. But I love how you emphasized throughout the course of your speech how the downs are better than ups. And I think that this was the highlight of your speech. The only thing I have to say for you is that when you were talking about graduating from mechanical engineering, I believe, you said after graduation from mechanical engineering, I believe you meant to say after graduating from mechanical engineering. So that was the only grammatical kind of typo that you had there. Otherwise, it was beautifully articulated. And again, thank you for inspiring us by allowing us to always see the glass half full. Beautifully done. Reem, who was one of our table topic speakers, said a very beautiful statement, and it went a little something like this. She said, forgiveness is a form of self-reflection. Absolutely. She said, forgiveness is a form of self-reflection, and the first people that we have to start forgiving is ourselves. Beautiful, beautiful, and it coincides very nicely with tonight's theme. Dr. Sumana, I believe I said your name correctly, yes? Okay, so you said something wonderful, something that I had never heard before. And you said was, what's missing is not what's missing as in the word missing. What's missing is not in my life, but in my life experiences. I love that. I love that. And I never thought of it this way. Yes, I know a lot of people are looking at you as, wow, that was really deep. But yeah, I never thought of it this way. It's not something that is missing in our life, but in our life experiences. And you taught us through so much through your 2-minute impromptu speech tonight. So thank you so much for that. Otherwise, I have nothing else to say as far as constructive feedback, but I do have a couple of names that I need to shout out. You guys did a brilliant job incorporating the word of the day tonight. You guys give yourselves a big round of applause. I was so happy because I was the grammarian once or twice before and never had I written down so many names. So thank you. So let me start off with Alia was the first person. Hassan incorporated it in his prepared speech. So did Rania. And I always say it's very difficult when you have a prepared speech with all its specifics already, you know, up and running, and you find a place and a way to incorporate the word of the day. So thank you so much, Hassan and Rania, for that. Galel incorporated it. After using the word intolerable, he took a couple of steps back and then he said tolerate. So thank you, Gilgil, for changing your stance on that. Also, Dave incorporated it. Dr. Sumana incorporated it 3 times in your 2-minute speech. Thank you so much. I was listening. Abdu incorporated it as well. And then last but not least, right before I started my segment, I know that Mag said it twice. So everybody, actually you said it once, but thank you for saying it. So thank you so much everyone for using this word, because it is a very important word, especially when we're talking about forgiveness. We cannot be forgiving people without having a little bit of tolerance inside of us that would enable us to keep an open mind and to forgive others. So beautifully done. Thanks so much to our prepared speakers, to our impromptu speakers, and to everyone who led this meeting tonight and who found a minute or a single second in their speeches or evaluations to incorporate the word of the day. A good job on your grammar, a good job on your communication skills, and I just loved every segment of it. So thanks so much, and I will now hand the mic over to our wonderful general evaluator. Emma, the mic is yours.
All right. Thank you very much, my dear grammarian. Thank you. Great job, everyone. Congratulations. And when it comes to tolerance, I know the timer has no tolerance here. None whatsoever. Limited time, and I know that she would have booed us off the stage. Ghada, are you ready with your report? Our great timer and one of our oldest members in Cairo Toastmasters. Please help me welcome Ghada Sharawi, our timer today.
Thank you so much, Amal, our general evaluator. Thank you for all the speakers for great speeches and sharing a great experience during your speeches. Regarding my report, here it is. In prepared speeches, Hassan, 6 minutes 36 seconds. Rania, 5 minutes 25 seconds. In table topic, Parag Depresky, 2 minutes 21. Reem Rop, 1 minute 40 seconds. Hitash Baraskar, 1 minute 48 seconds. Dr. Sumana, 1 minute 56 seconds. Raj Barat, 1 minute 30 seconds. Abdu Magdi, 1 minute 28 seconds. For evaluation part, Wala Osman, 3 minutes 35 seconds. Simek, 3 minutes 42 seconds. Great job. Thank you so much. Back to General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, our dear timer. Great job, great listener. And this, our last but not least, our accounter. He has been listening, believe me, I know it. So brace yourself for a great accounter speech and a great report from Mr. Galal Zaki. Please welcome Mr. Galal.
Thank you, General Evaluator Amal. I'm looking forward to your forgiveness, and please tolerate what's going to be said now. I have learned that I'm going to be cruel only to be kind. So whatever I'm going to be doing, it's not to make you feel bad. It's really to get you to do the great stuff that you want. Is that leaders of 5 a team of 5 people, of the boss, of my boss, told to teach and to each. After 2 weeks were over. Anyway, I got goosebumps when I heard that they reached 22,000. That was an incredible and a big learning achievement, a learning thing for us. Now with Rania, who said, it was really a sudden. I tried to accept. I don't judge. Through. Who won? Who won? Now, how? The only important thing, hope is always. And a great achievement to you, Rani. We're really proud of what you've done for us. 39 times. To attract. When she. But let me say, we eventually. Going on to table topic speakers, Dave, you were incredible. The first pause was incredible. One thing that I noticed is you purse your lips very often throughout your speech. Now, some people also go with a sound with that. They go between things they say, but on the whole, great. Reem, Eroth, all right. So, 5 times. The mind can only see. Rohitash, twice. Dr. Sumana, I, 4 times. And I'm afraid Raj and Abdul, I lost the line. I couldn't hear any of what you were saying. Please forgive me for being cruel only to be kind. Back to you. Thank you, Amal.
Thank you very much, Mr. Galal. Great and precise every time. Thank you very much for your report. And now it's time for my report, because I too have been listening to you. And I am here not just to evaluate you, but the whole meeting through and through. All right. I can proudly tell you that our meeting started on time. And our great Sergeant Arms here stated the rules, gave us a brief about the Toastmasters to the guests who never attended a Toastmasters meeting before. And then the president here gave us a lovely welcome speech for all the guests. And she briefed everyone about Toastmasters as well. And she introduced the vice president of membership and referred her for everyone who wants to be a member or who has a question about Toastmasters. Our great Toastmaster of the day, congratulations. You have conducted a great, lovely meeting. A lovely meeting, Alia, introducing the theme of the day. A beautiful personal story that you've shared with us. You have successfully shared the agenda in the chat box and to everyone, and you talked us through it and made everyone aware of what's going to be happening in this meeting. And you asked the role players to explain the roles. Thank you very much. I will not be evaluating the speeches because they have already been evaluated, but I will be evaluating the evaluators. Do you know, do you like Robert Downey Jr.? Anybody knows that American actor? All right. There is this movie, Tropic Thunder. He was the dude playing the dude. He was the dude playing the dude disguised as another dude. That's me today. I'll be evaluating the evaluators who has been evaluating you all the time. Okay. But first, the Toastmaster, the table topic master, Rania. TV presenter, you have a career here, a career shift. Right here, Rania. It was fun, a very nice touch, especially the mic. You used a an actual physical mic. That was a very nice touch. It was very nice to conduct your table topics as if it was a TV show, like it's a game show. Everybody enjoyed it. I could see the facial expressions of everybody, the speakers and those who were listening. Everybody was having fun. Thank you, Rania, for this. Very creative. Our table topic speakers, Dave, you gave a very nice speech, and it was in coherence with the theme of this meeting. Reem, you gave a very beautiful speech, and you have beautiful choice of words. Next time, please turn the camera on. We would love to see you, to see your facial expressions. It will only enrich your experience with the Toastmasters. We would love to see you next time. Rohitesh from India, you said Elon Musk. I only have one thing. You only get to be him for one day. Just transfer all his money to your bank account, man. Okay. Great speech. Thank you very much. Andrania, thank you for connecting with your table topic speakers by trying to, you had three table topic speakers from India. You tried to connect with them by using some Hindi words, except our grammarian here will not be able to judge you for this grammatical error, but I can. It's not meri dosti, it's meri dost. Okay? It's my friend, because dosti means friendship. Dost means friend. So it's meri dost. Bahut sundar, or you can also say bahut khoobsurat. That means very beautiful.
Okay.
Sorry, Dina, I had to be the grammarian here. Oh, thank you very much.
Don't say it.
Thank you very much. I had to be the grammarian here, but this is an English speaking club, so I had to step in here. Okay. Dr. Suman, it was a very, very beautiful speech about forgiveness. Our president already talked about this, so I will not take more of your time. Raj, you related music to Bollywood, to your personal experience in your speech, which made it very beautiful. Abdul Magdi from Dahab, I think you are the first person that comes from Dahab to our Cairo Toastmasters. Hope to see you again. It was a very beautiful speech as well, very inspiring. And you told us about having a balanced connections. Actually, I wrote that down for myself to know more about how to have a balanced connection. Thank you for sharing that. Although the first thing that came to my mind when you said from Dahab and something that you could teach, I thought, my God, he's going to say diving. Because for those who doesn't know, Dahab and all the cities in the Red Sea are beautiful diving spots. So maybe someday after the COVID, maybe you can come and visit Dahab, Sharm el-Sheikh, and you can have a very beautiful diving experience.
Yeah, Dahab is COVID free, so you're welcome to come. So next meeting goes
right.
like
Just don't bring COVID to
Dahab.
that. Great to have you with us, Abdul. Our first evaluator, Wala. Great listening skills, Wala. Congratulations for that. A very well-structured evaluation. You've pointed out the positives of Hassan's speech and added some points of improvement, and that is the whole point of having an evaluation. So congratulations, Wala. You've done a great job evaluating that speech.
Thank
you. Simak, you also are a very good listener as well. You have been listening and you have pointed out the hooks, all the good things that Rania made in her speech. You have also pointed out some negatives and gave us some advice about how to improve her speeches. And you congratulated, of course, her for that's her second speech, and she has already improved from the first speech to the second speech. So congratulations, Simak, on that lovely evaluation. What can I say about my GTA team? You guys saw them. Thank you, Dina. Great catches, especially the beautiful phrases. I know you have been too kind, maybe too kind today, because I caught some stuff here about the grammar, but it was all in all beautiful, and I could see your energy and your smile is contagious. Thank you very much. Our great timer, one of the oldest, our great Rada, our oldest team member here in Cairo Toastmasters. I think she's the one who she was the vice president of membership when I joined. So I'm in debt to her. So that was great. great listening skills, gave us a very beautiful report. It was short, it was precise, and precise. That's Mr. Galalzaki. He's not only counting the ahs or the ums, he's also counting the filler words and the unnecessarily repeated words. Just like what I've done, unnecessarily repeated words. That's what he's doing, only to improve our speech and improve the way that we are all speaking here, because this is the whole point of Toastmasters Club. And thank you very much for this lovely evening, and thank you all for joining us today. And I will hand it over to our great Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Alia. Over to you.
Woo, that was comprehensive, dear Emma. I know we're a little behind schedule, but I feel the theme, again, as a reminder, is about forgiveness. So let's all forgive each other for that. Thank you so much, Emma, and to all our role players and evaluators for your lovely reports. Now let us conclude, before we announce the awards and go on to our last and most special segment of the meeting, our theme about forgiveness. I'll leave you all with this quote. It was once said that people are often unreasonable and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you are honest, people may cheat you. Be honest anyway. If you find happiness, people may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today may be forgotten tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough. Give your best anyway. For you see, in the end, it is between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway.
Anyway.
Let's go with anyways. Our awards. It's awards time now. Who's going to be our best table topic speech and best prepared speech and best evaluation? Our Zoom master, are you ready? With the certificates. Congratulations to everyone, of course.
Post haste. Post haste. Let us welcome the Best Speaker Award. Now, please, thank you. 1 second, just sharing my screen. All right, where is it? This one. No, not this one. Yes, this one. No, this not. No. Right. Okay, this is my WhatsApp.
What is happening here?
Never mind this thing. All right, the Best Speaker Award goes to
WhatsApp.
Hassan Diop.
WhatsApp, to the WhatsApp.
Yes, to the WhatsApp. Hassan Diop.
Good job, Hassan.
Excellent job. Hassan Diop. Thank you. Thank you so much. Our next, what? Current? Okay. Our next award, the Table Topics Award, goes to Dave Debritsky.
Woohoo! Good job, Dave.
Well done, man. Great, excellent job. Our next award, the Best Evaluation Award, goes to Wala Othman.
Wala! Great job!
Congratulations. Now, back to the Toastmaster of the day to conclude the meeting.
Thank you so much. My tambourine was flying with excitement and happiness, and congratulations to each and every one of you here. We all did a great job together in this meeting. And now we move on to our last and final special segment of the meeting. This will be conducted by our awesome Dina Abu Saif. Pleasure to have you all. My privilege to be your Toastmaster of the day. Great having you, President Richard Peck, as well. Over to you, Dina.
Thank you so much, Alia, for a beautiful, heartfelt, uplifting, inspiring, amazing theme. And this is not even doing it justice. Thank you so much. And just a little comment to our lovely general evaluator. Yes, today I chose to focus, as Rania said, on the ups, not the downs. So Thanks for noticing it. But no, really, everybody did a phenomenal job. Okay, before I move on to introducing our wonderful guest speaker, International President Richard Peck, I would like to kindly ask Ashraf, our Zoom master, to please share the screen. Okay, great. Can you guys see that? Awesome. So Hassan, in reference to your amazing speech, Richard Peck actually just posted this beautiful quote in response to your wonderful speech regarding leadership. And as you can see, this is what it says. It says, being a leader is not about being the center of attention. Being a leader is about being the epicenter of action. Thank you so very much for such a beautiful statement, President Richard Peck. It truly reflects wonderfully on Hassan's speech, and it's a wonderful testimony to how you perceived his performance as well. So thank you so very much for that. Before I hand the mic over to our wonderful guest speaker, I would like to briefly introduce him. Now, I am pleased to introduce Toastmasters International's President, Richard E. Peck. For over 30 years, Richard was a senior member of the Network Support Division at AT&T. The Seymour, Connecticut resident led cross-functional teams to successfully deliver million-dollar high-tech projects. Outside of Toastmasters, Richard has served as a club president and lieutenant governor for Kiwanis International, is a member of Lions Club, and has also worked in various capacities with the Catholic War veterans. He is also a commissioner on a local government board. Richard is also a professionally licensed race car driver, and in his limited time, he can be found at the racetrack as either a driver or a spectator. A Toastmaster since 2006, Richard is a member of Nutmeg Toastmasters Club in Woodbridge, Connecticut, and is also currently a member of Park City Toastmasters Club in Stratford, Connecticut. Now, please warmly welcome the International President, distinguished Toastmasters, Richard E. Peck.
Well, thank you, Toastmaster Dina. Can everyone hear me okay? You know, I really wish you hadn't asked me to speak about pathways. I could have wrote a keynote speech off of this meeting. I could have done a 45-minute table topic off of what I saw today.
Wow.
This was truly, truly an amazing meeting. Now, I know we're running behind on the agenda, so I'm going to keep my presentation brief because what's more important to me is to interact with you and hear what your questions are, because you're the ones who I need to make sure are getting what you want out of the program. And I need to understand what your questions or concerns are. But the president asked me to speak about pathways today. And how many of you are actively in pathways? Boy, those hands were really slow going up there. They were a little hesitant, I think. And I'm only looking at one screen. You have 5 screens across the board. You know, in 2010, the board of directors looked at what was our current education program, the competent communicator, competent leader, and the advanced programs, and realized that it had been a while since the educational program had been updated. And although it was a good program, it wasn't meeting the modern needs of individuals. I mean, let's be honest. How many of you carried 15 manuals around with you when you went to your club visits? No? I see our Zoom master, Ashraf, did. How many of you knew the advanced manuals and where to find them? Or You went and you went to a meeting and you took on a leadership role. And then you went to fill out your competent leader manual later and you forgot what date you took a role on. It was clunky, but it met the needs at the time. And just like all educational programs, they have to evolve to stay pertinent. Now, think about one of the advanced programs that was communicating on television. There was no communicating through podcast, webcast, digital media. Now, even though Rania's got definitely got the role of newscaster for her future career, there's not a lot of new newscasts going on. There's not a lot of new interview programs going on. And the ones that are out there, we really don't want to watch anyhow, let's be honest. So there's an evolutionary process that goes on. You also had to think about what was going on in the world at that point in time. People were becoming more mobile. Cell phones were now capable of having apps. You could write on them. I remember when I got my first cell phone, I had to carry it like this because it was one of those big ones in the bag that you had to plug into the cigarette lighter in your car. Now you can do everything on your phone or your tablet. It also made it easy to carry it with you. If you forgot a manual, forgot your evaluation form, you can go online and get it. Or your evaluator can go online and get it. I've given approximately 30% of the visits that I've had are pathway speeches. So I can send my evaluation form to anyone around the world and give a speech. That wouldn't have been possible beforehand. Now, it's funny when Aaliyah had mentioned hate at first sight earlier. The first thing that came to my mind was, can you hate an inanimate object? And when Pathways rolled out, everyone was up at arms. They hated it. And what did it do to you? I couldn't understand how you hated something that did nothing to you. But it was change. And change is what people hate. It's not the inanimate object, it's the change that goes along with it. So 2010, the board decided they were going to roll out the program. They got feedback from our members on what they were looking for. Obviously, we didn't survey 350,000 members to see what they needed. We'd still be writing the software right now if we did. But they reached out to a segment of the population to see what was needed. They also brought a segment of the population in to test the software and make sure it met the needs of the members. That took between 2010 and 2017 to start getting Pathways rolled out. And in 2017, we rolled it out in small bits. And it was still a little clunky and things needed to be worked on. But people were resistant to change. They were resistant to change because we told them that you have until 2 years after the last rollout to stay with the old program. So there was no urgency there. There was no need to get involved. And I spoke earlier today in China about procrastination. And we procrastinate, and then all of a sudden it was the last day. And I hadn't completed my first program in the original manuals, and now the new program was being rolled out with nothing to go back to. But the program is here. The program's good. I'm in 3 paths right now. And what I find is that although when you start back up on one path to the other, there's an icebreaker speech. And people have been saying, well, why do we have to keep doing an icebreaker speech? Well, anyone who's given multiple CCs has given multiple icebreaker speeches. It's the same thing. It's not that you have to give the same speech, but your icebreaker speech may be something different. Maybe you gave it 5 years ago when you were single or married and didn't have children, and now you've got a new icebreaker speech that talks about everything that's happened since then. Everything evolves. Speaking evolves. Communication evolves. And what's nice now, as opposed to the old system, if you will, is everyone did the same thing, right? Here's the same 10 speeches. And I know Anna's been nodding quite a bit, but here's the same 10 speeches, same 10 CC speeches. Everyone does them. Well, now you have 11 paths that you can choose from. What is it that you're working on? Are you trying to improve your humor? Is it engaging humor that you want to work on? Is it leadership? Is it planning? Now you get to choose for yourself what it is you want to do. And we keep evolving the program. We keep looking at new things to add to it. I would think that after this situation that we're in right now, you might see something that's added in the future on how to conduct meetings in the online format, how to present in an online format. It's totally different than if you're standing in the room with people. I know I often get told my hands aren't seen. Well, they're down here. How do I adjust that? Or stand up. My ceilings here are only 5 feet tall. I'm 6'2". Standing is not going to work here if I stand up here, but how do I get the same message across? The program will consistently evolve. The program will consistently get better. But the only way it's going to get better is to have people involved with it and giving us feedback on it, giving us feedback on what they need to have. And that's the important thing. And we have staff at World Headquarters that is there specifically to look at the input from our members, and figure out what we can do with them. The other thing that has to be taken into account is it takes time to make change. Any IT people in the room? Okay, a couple. I know that I can get anything changed in IT with time and money. But how much are we willing to spend and how much time are we willing to give? How quick do we need something? So it takes time to get things through. I would strongly encourage you to actively be involved in the program, to try a different path, to reach for something outside of your comfort zone. I'm afraid to try engaging humor. I think that's got to be the most terrifying path out there. And I've shied away from it. But at some point in time, I'm going to have to try it to make sure that I can do it. I took on dynamic leadership. And you may say, well, why would you take on a leadership path? Well, leadership doesn't end the day you get a title. The skills don't end the day you get a title. There's always something to learn. So even though the path may sound like something that's familiar to you, there's still something different. How becoming a professional speaker. How many want to become professional speakers? A few? Good. You're not going to do that in 5 to 7 minute speeches. So you've got to take those longer speeches and try it. Be different with it. If you take a path and you don't like it, the world's not going to end. Your career's not going to be over. You can try a different path. But there's something out there for you. And there's always somebody in your club now that can mentor you on something. And here's another great thing. And I mentioned it earlier about being able to meet with clubs around the world. How great is it to be able to give a speech at another club and see how it comes across? Are your words being heard the same way? Is your humor being heard the same way? I wrote a column about, are we connecting with people when we're speaking the way we normally would? in words that may not translate properly. There's a whole thing out there on the web about words that are only translatable in one country, doesn't have a match anywhere else. So are we getting our message across? You have the opportunity now that nobody before you has ever had, to be able to reach out around the world and give speeches and get feedback from others, to be able to hone your message to a larger audience. Without Pathways, that wouldn't have happened. Without the pandemic, we wouldn't have had these options. I often tell people we spend too much time looking at the challenges and not enough time looking at the opportunities. And if you keep looking at things as a challenge, you'll never progress forward. It's only when you flip the script and find the opportunities within it. Is Pathways a little challenging for some people? No internet, no, those type of things? Yes. But there's opportunities around that. So I encourage you, please take this journey with me, take the Pathways journey with me, and let's work together to improve the program and enhance it the way we need it as members of this organization. After all, it's our organization and it's our program. It's up to us to get it where we want it. Madam President, I'd like to open up the floor for questions so that I can at least hear from some of the members as to what is on their mind.
Thank you so very much, President Peck, for your Toastmasters orientation speech. Now, I know that we have a couple of people who already had their hands raised. Andreas, I know that you sent me a question via the chat box. Go ahead and voice your concerns or your questions to the President directly, please. The mic is yours.
Thank you very much, President, for your pep talk. I can fully buy this. I have been serving as a Pathways guide since it was introduced here in our Region 10. And you're right with all the points. However, when I serve as a Pathways guide, and recently I tried to educate a new vice president education of a new corporate program here in Zurich, and it took us at least 2 60-minute sessions to bring her up to speed on how to navigate the platform and to tell her about all the things about the levels. And here I'm looking forward to hear some recent best practices on how to overcome this time-consuming challenge on how to educate people that are totally new to the Pathways Cornerstone platform.
So I guess my question would be, why did it take so long to get through there? I know the navigation is a little bit clunky, if you will, and we're looking at ways to get that straightened out. As you mentioned, Cornerstone is the owner of the platform. We're the owner of the content. So yes, there are some things in there that I've mentioned. Why do I have to hover over a home button to get a home button, to push a home button to go home? So I understand that. I'm not sure, without getting into great detail, what took 2 1-hour sessions to get through. But
yeah, she just had a lot of questions, and it's fine, right? I like to educate people. It's also an opportunity to get to know her, but and we also came up with ideas. Let's do some webinars, also record them, send the links out to people that they can watch it on YouTube to educate themselves. But yeah, last time, because we had it in the schedule, and it was 2 60-minute sessions to bring her to a certain level. And this really told me, wow, this is a lot of time of investment that we as volunteer servants have to give.
So as I'm listening to your comments, Andres, I think there's 2 sides to it. There was the training to get her through it and try to understand what Pathways is and how to work through the program. But along the way, you were coming up with new ideas, potential for improvement, those type of things. So that's a subset of learning the program. and there was probably some influence there. Now, how long would it have taken you to just go through it if you just went through from point A to point B without, well, we can do this to improve, or let's put a webinar together for there? You know, there's a difference there that I think needs to be looked at as well. But I've given you my email address. You can send me a message. I'd like to talk to you more about it, though.
All right, thank you, President Peck. Now, I believe we have a couple of other questions. Raj, the mic is yours.
Sure, thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. President, for sharing about pathways. I have been served as a pathways focal for Division B in District 98 last year. Also, I have completed presentation mastery path last year and currently doing second path of visionary communication. As a pathways focal, I have been asked a questions multiple times. The question is, when one person has completed one pathways, what are the things which motivate that person to select another pathways? Because all pathways have almost similar types of speech objectives. So why they should select another pathways? Just have your viewpoint, Mr.
So as I mentioned earlier with the CC program, if you did multiple CCs, that they were the same, they were exactly the same 10 speeches as there were. There are subtle differences between the programs. And as you know, as you're going through the levels, there are different electives. So it's, yes, is the foundational piece the same? Very similar, yes. However, just because it's an icebreaker speech under effective communication doesn't mean it's going to be the same icebreaker speech under dynamic leadership. It could be that the speech aligns with what that path is. And then when you get into the electives, that's where you can specialize, obviously, in what it is you're looking for. So as you know, when you get to those levels with electives, there's 4, 5, 6 electives within that level. You only need 1 or 2 electives to complete, right? So in your next path, those optional electives that are in there are the driver to try something different. So, you know, they're not the same unless you make them the same. They are customizable to you from both aspects. Additionally, you're going to start seeing speeches that are much longer when you get into the professional speaking aspect of it. So that's when you start pushing yourself a little bit more. And for those of you who have given 20, 30, 40-minute speeches, know it's totally different than giving a 5 to 7 minute speech. You know, and the content has to be different. The way you connect with the audience is different. The way you connect with the audience in this environment is different. I have a hard time keeping my eye on that white dot where my camera is because I'm looking around the room to see all the facial expressions, and just like we would do in a room. So your first path, you may get through and not have worked out all those things that you really need to work out. And then the next path that you're taking, you're building the skills accordingly. Now, for you who was a pathways guide and a leader within your organization, within the district, you know, it might have been dynamic leadership that you wanted to take your first round out, right? And I know you said presentation mastery, but dynamic leadership, I want to be a leader. I need to understand that. Well, after you've gone through that path, well, you know what? I know how to be a leader, but how do I coach people effectively? So now the effective coaching piece becomes a build on to that. So I think thinking about what the ultimate destination is can help align you with which paths you take at which point in time.
Okay, thank you so much, Richard. Thank you so much for your answer.
And thank you, Raj, for calling me Richard. I appreciate that. That's great. It's very informal. I like the informal aspect of it.
Okay, thank you for your answer, Richard.
Thank you, Dina.
Awesome, I like that too. Okay, I believe,
can we call him Ricky?
No.
No,
okay. I don't think we can go that far, Gilgil, okay?
Okay.
That's it. You already sent me an email, Galal. I'm going to be banning your email address.
Okay, let me see. I believe Rohitash, the mic is yours. You have a question, sir.
Thanks, Dina. Hi, Richard. I have a question. I'm from India, and I have a question like, Now, during these circumstances, currently, I think conducting online meeting has been a new norm. So we have evolved not only in the pathways, but in conducting the meeting also. So my question is, are we going to get some kind of guidelines to conduct online meetings from the Toastmasters International? As far as I know, we do not have any such guidelines. To take it some example, for example, we are yet to have fully digitally solution enabled all across the world. So during some of the part when some prepared speaker is delivering his speech and in between he gets stuck due to poor internet connectivity, then will he get a chance again to complete his speech or not? So this kind of guidelines are we going to get from the Toastmaster International in some time?
Yeah, I don't see that that's going to be something that's anytime in the near future, if at all. As you know, the only guidance we really give is you have those 3 sections of your club meeting that is, must be conducted or should be conducted, your table topics, your prepared speeches and evaluations. I think that's up to a club to say, we know the speaker's going to have may have internet connectivity issues, and we will adjust accordingly. The timer can stop the timing. You can give that individual an opportunity to have another speech. I think there would be way too many variables in there to come up with that. Then we'd have to start saying, well, you need to have this type of lighting so that we can see your face and see your facial expressions, and this type of microphone. And I think that would be one absurd for us to try to do based on everybody's requirements. And we want you to have flexibility as a club. And we want you to have some autonomy there in how you're conducting your meetings.
Thank you for the answer. So sometimes in our club, people do not tolerate each other, but we need to take theme of the day of forgiveness to our club. Thank you.
That's it. And I've been to plenty of clubs in India, so I know they do like to have fun and enjoy their meetings. It's a new environment that we're in right now, and we're all trying to get used to it.
And I would like to take an opportunity to have you in our club also sometime.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the question and thanks for the response. Ashraf, the mic is yours. You have a question.
Hello.
Hello.
President. Hi. Mr. President, yes. I like my formalities. So, Mr. President, I had a question. We have been trying to get districted in Cairo Toastmasters for the past 4 years. I wanted to ask you, how can we maybe go about to achieve this goal of ours? And is it possible to maybe join a district in Saudi Arabia, which is huge, which has like 3 districts in it by itself? And here in Cairo, we do not have a district yet. So I was wondering if we can be able maybe to proceed in this objective of ours or not.
We need to participate in championships.
Yes.
We cannot do that without being districted.
Exactly. This is, yeah.
Yeah. I've heard this question quite a bit lately. A lot of people want to compete in championships. Yeah, so there's processes for getting clubs located within districts. It's actually a district request for doing that. Realigning the boundaries of a district. So the clubs would have to agree to it. The districts would have to agree to it. Then it would come to the board of directors, and we look at the financial impacts and whether they truly could be supported or not before we get there. Keep growing clubs in Egypt, you could have your own district. You just got to keep growing some clubs there. You start off with your territorial council and move forward from there.
Honestly, we do wish we had a couple of endeavors. We started some corporate clubs. We even started some, but it never materialized because people, they're somehow still unaware of how big Toastmaster is in Egypt. And actually it's putting a lot of actually load on. We're only 2 clubs in Egypt, in the whole Egypt, one in Alexandria, one in Cairo. And I believe this is not enough for us to get districted.
Okay, would 3 be enough?
Is 3 enough? No.
Because I just got inspired to start a Daha Toastmasters club. So if this is thing, we can just get 20 members and then we have 3 clubs and let's be a district.
And you do know that the board of directors allowed online clubs to be chartered and be districted this year as well. So, you know, there's some online clubs that are now chartering and going to be parts of districts.
Yeah. Definitely there will be like 20 people like who are interested in joining Toastmasters in Dahab. So I think there's a lot of opportunities here. I just recently relocated 6 months ago, so I was not able to, and also for like the COVID-19, but now I had the chance to join this meeting and I'm getting that Toastmasters energy back. I used to be a member for 10 years before like disconnecting a little bit. So I'm pretty excited that there's a lot of opportunities for us to restart here in Dahab.
I'm sorry to jump in. Can we just know the number of clubs we need to start even thinking about a district?
20.
Okay.
Okay, so 18 more to go.
Woohoo! Let me double check that number for you. I had a couple things going on here. Give me 1 second. I'll check that number for you.
Okay.
I don't want to give you the wrong information. I've got multiple emails flying because of other meetings that are currently going on. But while I'm looking that up, if there's another question, I'm glad to take it.
Yes, I believe we had somebody else. Dave, you had a question, sir.
Yes, I do. Thank you very much, Richard, for being here today. So my question is with regard to pathways.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say to people, and it's a fairly large number, who would argue why not just take the legacy program and digitalize it, put it online, and have it, along with pathways, be different alternate tracks that you could take? Because, of course, under the legacy program, there are so many speeches you could be giving that are not available in pathways, like under communicating on television, public relations. Why not just bring the legacy manual into the modern age and let it and pathways exist side by side?
Well, there's a separate side to that, is how many people actually know about the legacy system or the legacy program. See, those of us who were around when the legacy program was around are the ones that are saying, why didn't we just digitize the legacy program? Those members that are joining since Pathways rolled out have no clue that there was ever a legacy system. And they're perfectly happy with the new program. So not sure that there would have been much benefit for individuals, you know, and then we're getting the same question that leads to, well, why are there the same things within a path from one path to the other? Now, if we're talking about the legacy system, there's the same CC manual as the same CC manual. So I don't know that there would have been any benefit to digitizing it, nor that it would have been, that we would have been able to modernize it properly. Now, I do know that there are concerns about, can we put something back into place? So I do know that there are members making calls like that. Can something from the CC manual be put into place? And I don't know. That's a decision that would have to be made once we get through some of the more important things that we're dealing with right now.
Okay, thank you, Richard.
Yeah. Yes, you're not the first person to ask that. So I do know that there are others that are concerned about it.
Abdu, did you have another question?
I could actually have an add-up question in terms of like joining different clubs, because like I had not been a member of Toastmasters, like my membership had not been active for 2 years, but I'm getting excited right now. And one of the things that I'm thinking about right now is which club should I join, especially if I have a little bit of a specialized, like if you like manage events or deliver some kind of content online. Like, are there any limitations given that also like with the online clubs that I can pick specialized clubs? Is it like, are there any restrictions in terms of choosing the best club to join for my specialized interest?
Is there any restriction to you joining a club in which it aligns with your interests? No, none that I'm aware of. You can join any club as long as the club doesn't have its own restrictions. So, there are clubs that are in government buildings and secure locations, and you have to be members of either those organizations or have those clearances in order to attend. Medical clubs in medical locations, sometimes those are restricted due to the HIPAA, requirements. But if you found a club that met your needs, you could contact them and go try it out, see if it was what you want, and join. Absolutely, there's no restriction there. Additionally, if you wanted to start a club that's aligned with that type of requirement, there's nothing that stops you from doing that. So, we have clubs out there that are for project management professionals, clubs that are for individuals who are just geared towards becoming professional speakers, those type of things. So a club can be designed with a focus on a specific item as well.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Okay, next I have Marutish. I'm sorry, I butchered your name. How do you pronounce it? Are you there? Nope. Okay. Moving on to the next person. Hassan, you have a question.
Yeah, I have a question.
Hello, Hassan. Great speech, by the way.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. President. My question is, can we add a pathway about debates, debating? Because debate is a very good skill.
Interesting. I'll take note of
debating is very...
So would that be a path?
Actually, there are some Toastmasters.
Do you see that as a
there are
path
already
or
some
an elective?
I think as a path would be a good option, because debating needs a lot of practice. It's not like just one mission, not just like one project. But if there is a curriculum for debating skills, that would be a great option. I would love to take that pathway if it exists.
I've taken note of it, Hassan.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
President Dina,
Right,
I've only got time.
Do we have time?
One
Sorry,
more question.
Do we have time for one more question?
Yep.
Thank you so much. Alia, the mic is yours.
I'm back again. So sorry for that. I just have one quick question related to us being districted. Is it possible, because having 18 more clubs to go kind of seems like far, far away. I feel like I'm going to be a grandmother by then. Like, is it possible that we join, for example, Kuwait or any other nearby Toastmaster clubs, and then together we can create a district with them? And
again, that would have to be something that the district and the clubs within Egypt would have to make a presentation on. So we have clubs all the time that are outside of districts that want to be aligned within the boundaries of a specific district. So you've got to work with those district leaders, so the district trio there, and get them to understand what the desire is, what the need is, and then there's a process that they would have to go through in order to get you there.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
We'll take a
Yeah,
step
it's not something that a club calls up world headquarters and says, listen, we'd like to be aligned with the district in Qatar or the district in Saudi Arabia, and all of a sudden it happens. There's a whole process that has to be done in order to accomplish that.
Okay.
I thought you were going to ask me if there was a tambourine path coming along, Aaliyah.
There is one right here.
All right, so I believe we are done with our Q&A segment. I know more people wanted to ask questions, but for the sake of time, I do apologize. We have to wrap it up. I just want to say that we had more than 70 participants tonight, 70 that is, and they stuck around until it was probably like 2 o'clock in the morning their time, and then they had to leave. But we had 70 participants tonight. Truly, thank you so very much, everybody, for joining us tonight, for contributing, for really enriching this experience globally. And of course, special thanks to Richard for joining us tonight, for taking time out of your schedule to better familiarize us with the importance of pathways and being very generous with your time as far as answering our questions. Everybody, please give him a big round of applause.
Dina, just one clarification, and I know Aaliyah thought she was going to be a grandmother before 20. 20 gets you to territorial council. It's 60 that gives you a provisional district status. So, you know, I don't want you to feel that you'll be a great grandmother by 60. Okay.
Oh no. Good to know. Good to know. We'll just keep a mental note of that, but I think we're going to have to start pursuing the possibility of joining other districts, because we all want to be districted before we marry our children. So we're still young and energetic. We're known
Yes,
for
you
our
are.
positive energy. We don't want to lose that.
So Dina, before I go, I have one request of you and the club. And
Sure.
this is not something that needs to be done now. When this world tour is over, I'm more than likely going to put a small journal together of the visits for the clubs. And I would like for you and the club to put together something, a small letter document of what you would like the world to know about your club. Because they may never get a chance to get to visit you, but what is it you would like them to know about you? No length of wording requirement, no formatting required. You just send that over and we'll take care of putting it all together.
Yeah, that's wonderful. It's a wonderful opportunity. Thank you so very much for enabling us to actually speak to the world about our club. And I know that instead of us telling the people what we want them to know, perhaps we can ask maybe privately later. For the sake of time, we cannot do that tonight, unfortunately, but we will be reaching out to some of our guests and maybe asking them what they want the world to know about us, because their feedback is truly appreciated. So thank you so much, Richard, for this wonderful opportunity. And before I adjourn the meeting, I would just like everybody to please turn your cameras on so we can take a group picture with Richard. Please turn your cameras on and show us your big, beautiful smiles. For those of you who have been hiding throughout the course of the meeting, I forgive you. All right. So who's going to take the picture? The Zoom master or who's on it?
I will. All
Okay,
right, are you
let us
guys
know when
ready?
you're ready, okay?
All right. 1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you so very much, everyone. Give yourselves a big round of applause for sticking around this long.
Can we have just one more picture? Because I'm not sure. I think I pressed the wrong button. 1, 2,
Oh, no.
3. 3. All right, excellent. We done it.
Awesome, awesome. Dave, you look terrified. That was so funny. All right, everybody. Again, thank you so much for your time and your commitment to tonight's meeting. Richard, thank you so very much again for giving us the opportunity to be part of your world tour and for educating us on pathways and for your continued support and your uplifting words of encouragement. Thanks again, everybody, and we look forward to seeing you all again virtually in the very near future and hopefully in person down the road. I will now adjourn the meeting, and I would like to wish each and every one of you a very good night and happy belated New Year. I hope your New Year is off to a great start, and we look forward to seeing you very soon. Have a good night.
And happy belated New Year to all.
Bye.
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 Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye from Dahab.
Bye. Yes, thank you for coming. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dina. Thank you,
Thank you
Alia.
so much,
Thank
Nasreen.
you.